Well, how y'all doing today? I'm doing peachy keen. Well, I kind of lied. I feel a lot better than I did this morning, but I'm still not up to par. Sometime last night, whatever we had fixed for dinner basically did not agree with me. And yeah, I didn't get to do what I had planned to do. I got Junior up, and we were getting ready to go into the woods, and Mother Nature started calling and calling and calling and calling, and it called a few more times, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take me some belly medicine and sit around the house and be lazy today, because I don't want to go out in the woods feeling like this. So yeah, I didn't go in the woods. Now, if everything is better tomorrow morning, I will be going into the woods, me and Junior, because we're going to be, like I told him, we're looking for certain things, and going to be gathering up a few things and excuse me, do it that way. Now, the reason why I'm hunched over for is because I'm cutting some of my pepper chilies off, and I'm tossing them into my glass container here. This is going to be my second batch, as I call it, my yum yum, or as y'all call it, hot sauce. And what I do is I snip the heads off where it reveals the seeds like that right there. Chop it in the container. Green and yellow, not yellow, green and yellow. It's that green, yellow, and red. And boy, they smell good. I would put my tongue to it, but I'm not that dumb. Now, give me a little extra money to do it, oh, I'd do it. But yeah, I did have these plants inside the house for a little while, and I was there thinking, you know what, I'm just going to do it differently. Instead of dragging all these plants in every year and doing all this other rigmarole kind of things, I do have two plants I did keep in the house. One is my Thai peppers, because they're small, and I put them by the window and they do just fine. But these things here require so much more. And then on top of it, I figure, because I'm cutting off, well, let me do it this way. Yeah. I'm cutting off about that much, which leaves some seeds still in the top of it. And they're all going in the dirt by the main part of the plant. And I'm gonna leave them just like that, and leave them out here, so that way the cold does its thing. They sit out here all year long, winter long. They do their stratification like you would do normally, and then after that, hopefully, say next year, some of these will come up, and I can do my process all over again the same way. So that's my intention, and hopefully it works. And if it does, more power for me, because that means I don't have to buy pepper plants next year. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't, which means I'll just buy pepper plants next year and harvest as much as I can. And well, that's a good long one there. I hate to cut that one. I'm gonna leave it. Some of these are Dragon Cayennes, and some of these are Cayennes. I'm gonna leave these longer green ones on here so they can, do their thing. The regular Cayennes, that's your regular Cayenne right there. The Dragon Cayennes are about this much longer, and they're a little bit warmer. So that's why I'm gonna leave them, so they can do their thing. picture. And see how that one there, that'd be a great pepper. It's green, well, you can see it good, you can see it. And it has a little orange and yellow on it right there, a little color to it. These are the ones I like stringing because, you know, just, they have a nice little color to them. But, yeah. A lot of people enjoy my hot sauce. One guy was like, he goes, I wish I knew how to do it. Of course, I told him, I said, it's simple. Get some, shoot, I missed the jar completely. I said, you get some peppers, you grow them, and, you know, do the best you. Hold on a second, I gotta bend down and get this. Put that piece in there. Get this piece off my shoe. Of course, I have to wash my fingers now. I touch that pepper. I'm gonna trim off most of these big old red ones and use them for my hots and sauce. A lot of these green ones on here I'm gonna leave, so that way, because we had a frost the other day, which didn't seem to hurt the plant too much, being up here on the porch. So couldn't tell if that was a bumblebee or if that was a ground bee. But they seem to be doing pretty well up here still on the porch, because during the daytime it's fairly warm, and then during the evening and the nighttime it gets, you know, it gets in the 50s, 40s and 50s. So they're not completely dying out, which is a good thing for me. They're still producing, and which gives me stuff to tinker with. You know, I'm not going to fill this jug up full of hot peppers. I'm only going to do a portion of it, and I'm going to add a bunch of white vinegar to it, so that way it'll all the oil from the pepper and the juice from the seeds and the juice from the pepper mixes with the vinegar, and that way I can eventually let it sit for 3 to 6 months, and after it sits for 3 to 6 months, I'll come through and I'll bottle up some of this stuff and use it for hot sauce. Now there's a trick I do with this, and one of the tricks is Tabasco peppers. You pick a bunch of Tabasco peppers, like my mother's plant over here, which is all kinds growing on it. I brought it outside because since it's still fairly warm and it's still getting sunlight, I'm gonna leave it out here on the porch. And if it gets too cold for frost wise, then I'll put a sheet over the top of it, and that way I'll keep all the harshness off of it as much as possible. And yeah, the rest of this week is going to be in the upper 70s, some 80s, and there's about another heat wave coming in. So if that's the case, then they'll keep producing some more, and I won't take them inside the house until I absolutely have to. And by then, of course, I'm gonna prune out my original Tabasco plant. It's got some big seedy pieces on it, and that way when I do take it inside, it's not dropping leaves all over the place. Now, one of my other pepper plants, which I have right over here, is my ghost peppers, and right here there's a red one there, a couple of oranges, yellows there's an orange one there, a bunch of green ones, and I'm going to trim those up here after I go through this cayenne and dragon cayenne mixture plant, and add it to my pile of pepper residue. I've been drinking a lot of fluids. Now this is flavored water, a little carbonated. No sugar, no salt. Carbonation, super high in potassium, which I won't argue with because I don't get to eat enough bananas. So it won't hurt my eating none. But yeah, since I've been here, that's what I got inside my container. That's just mainly the cayennes, with a couple green cayennes and maybe a couple of dragon cayennes in there. Now, a lot of this, well, there's a nice orange one here. I'll pop him in there too. A nice orange he is. Looks almost like a carrot almost. It's a form small one, but I'll tell you what, it'd be one of the hottest carrots you ever stuck in your mouth. Whew, that was hot. I can just smell it, and my nose is burning. But that's kind of a bad idea, I guess. My nose feels like it's on fire right now. Well, on average, this is about average size, something like that. Nothing massive. Now, I do got a bunch of these in the house. I got a string inside the living room strung up, probably about 20 or 30 of these. I got another string of them in the green room that has a mixture of all kinds of peppers. And the reason I'm stringing them for is eventually I'm going to grind them to a fine powder. And amongst grinding them to a fine powder, some of this powder, well, I already have a bunch already ground, so whenever Dan sends me the money or the check that he's going to send me, because he bought some gold from me, and whenever he sends me that check, and before I send him his gold to him, I'm going to go through and gather up an assortment of the chili powder I have ground up from last year, and I'm going to stick it in the box with his gold and melt it all at one time. Now, I normally would like to try to do it like about November, and so that way he can use it on, like, you know, his Christmas stuff. Cause he eats all kinds of chili and gumbo and jambalaya and all kinds of stuff like that. And that's what I send it to him for, to give him an extra little kick and flavor. And he seems to enjoy it, which is a little too hot for me, but you know, everybody has their own kind of taste buds, and that's what you're used to eating. That's what you're used to eating. Now, I like taking my Tabasco peppers and stick them in a bottle vat and pouring white vinegar on top of it with just a smidge, I mean like a small smidge pinch of salt. And that way, that's like my hot sauce I like. And it's not really even a hot sauce, really. It's more like, I call it a basting sauce. So, but I like putting a little bit of that on, you know, some chili or crawdads or something of that nature. That ain't good. I pulled that pepper and part of the plant piece came up. Oh well. Like I said, these are going to stay out here all the rest of the winter, because all these heads I'm cutting off. Here, let me cut this one off a certain way, and I'll show you how I'm doing this and why I'm doing it this way. Come on now, there we go. That one there almost like kind of like piece of shrimp. Piece of shrimp that sets your ass on fire. Now, here's the tip of the head I cut off. Look at all them seeds right there. All kinds of them seeds. Now and that's how a lot of these heads I'm cutting off, this is what they look like. The seeds are in there just like that. Now some of the seeds are cut in half, but there's a lot of them in there that are not cut in half. And I'm just laying up here on top of the dirt, and boy, I just screwed up. I just touched my eyeball and I can feel the heat already. Oh man, did I screw up stupid. It's not super hot, but it's pretty damn warm. What a dumbass. That's why I normally wear gloves doing this. And but my retarded ass didn't put gloves on. Yes, I said retarded ass. I know some of y'all politically correct people will be like, oh, you said retarded, that's a shame. Oh well, shit happens. Now, the rest of these on here nice and green. Slide him back over here. I will scratch the top of my chin, but it itches. It's nothing really hot there. Let me get up and turn this way some. Do a little snippy here. I'll get this orange one here. This one here. There's a bunch of green ones on there. I'm just going to leave the green ones. Now, let me cut. Ooh, a bunch of seeds come off that one. Drop him in there. Yeah, he's mostly seedy inside. I had one person ask me a while back, they're like, well, don't you wash your peppers off before you do this? I said, no. And they're like, well, why not? Trust me, if you was an insect or any kind of organism living on this thing, after it's been cut like this, now this is the ghost pepper. That just screams heat. I can feel it in my throat. And I put them peppers in there like that, and then I pour vinegar on top of it and let it marinate for a couple months. Trust me, if you could live in something like that, you are a better soul than I am. Now see, I cut the head off this ghost pepper. It's yellow, and there's all the seeds right there. What I'm going to do with this as well is I'm going to put it in the plant with my cayenne and dragon cayenne, and there's the tip off of that one with a bunch of seeds in there. I don't have my glasses on, but I can see the dots on it, so I know there's seeds in it. Of course I can see them. Put you in there. Now this one didn't have very many seeds on the top of it. Most of them popped off and let on the top of this little plastic piece, which I'm going to let them sit there and dry before I even touch them. But yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 to 20 ghost peppers still on that plant. And like I said, I'm going to let them sit there outside where it's nice and warm. Of course, it's going to get cold tonight, but you know, they were out here last night, 40 degrees, and it didn't affect them too much. So I'm going to let them finish doing their curing time out here. And then whenever, as you can see, there's my ghost peppers on top of my other ones. A little red one there. I'll probably put vinegar up to about right here, where my scissors are, that much, which is maybe, I don't know, quarter gallon, somewhere around there, a few cups anyway, just so that way they can float, and eventually when they float, they'll do their thing and they'll sink to the bottom. And once the rest of these peppers here do their magic, I will do the same thing. I'll cut them in parts and put them in my jug and let them sit there and sit over winter. And probably about, I don't know, March. Probably about March, maybe April. I'll get my big old ladle and I'll scoop up all the peppers that are on the bottom of that. And after that's said and done, I'll put them in a like a food processor or a blender, and I'll grind them up into a pulp mash, and I'll stick them off to the side with a little bit of pickling salt, and I'll let them do their magic with that. And then I'll have all that flavored vinegar, and then when I do get some more peppers, like down the road, like Tabasco peppers and other things, I need to bounce in the tripod, sorry about that. But once I do get some more peppers, and I stick them in my little bottles, I can take my little concoction of vinegar flavoring, and I can pour that on top of the peppers, cap it, and which the vinegar will be hot as hell to begin with, and then after that, you know, by the time the other peppers kind of cure into it, there's a little bit more zing, and the reason why I do it that way is because a lot of people enjoy it. Well, if I put that vinegar brine with some other different type of peppers, that brine will soak in with the other peppers, the content a little bit. And like I tell people all the time, that way if you want to redo it, just take you some vinegar, cap it up a little bit, put it up and let it sit for a while, and you'll have a redone version of almost the same thing I gave you. But yeah, I mean, my little Tabasco plant here, I picked it pretty heavy a couple weeks ago, and I made a few jars of it already, and it's definitely has a bunch new little bitty little Tabascos coming off of it. I hate to leave it over winter. I might leave it outside over winter. I'm not for sure yet. I mean, I took the main plant, the stalk. The main part of the stalk is as big as my index finger, and I hate to leave it out after I've taken it in once one year before. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Wait and see. I might take it in the house when it gets real cold and leave it in the house, and whenever it does pop off peppers, I can pick them off during the year, and I can add them to my bottles and cap them with a little bit of vinegar and let them sit over the winter. And that'd be one of the next few things I take to the farmer's market in the spring, is a bunch of hot sauce. Cap bottles like that. There's a few people enjoy it. I figure if I can do that, then, you know, more power to me. And I'm going to label a few bottles, not very many, and the bottles I will label will be the big bottles. I won't label the small ones, but only because price-wise. So if I don't label a bottle of hot sauce, I can sell it for $3 a bottle, and there she be, no questions asked. Even hell, even $2 a bottle. It wouldn't break my ass none. Because after you figure the amount of bottles that I buy size-wise and for the quantity, after you break it down, it's roughly $1 and some change per bottle. And if I sell it for $2.50 a bottle, then, you know, I'm making $1 and some change profit, and, you know, I'm not losing any money. So, but my extract is where my killer is, because you know, it has to sit a minimum, I mean a minimum of 6 months, bare minimum, no questions asked. And some of it I've had sitting for about a year, and some of it even a little longer than that. So the longer you let it sit, the more flavor it gets, the better it gets. And this coming paycheck, which will be Friday, Thursday's payday, goes in the bank Friday. I gotta watch while I rub my face with these hands. I just realized I almost touched my around a certain area again. That'd been bad. But come Friday, I'm gonna go get me a small bottle of bourbon, and well, I call it a small bottle, probably about a fifth, and I'm gonna throw some beans in it and let it sit all winter long up until sometime probably about midsummer. Well, let's see, if I do it now, it'll be October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. Somewhere about June or July will be about the breaking point for me. So, but yeah, I mean, but if I let it sit that long, I might as well go ahead and let it sit even longer, up until say like almost October-ish, maybe mid to late September, and bottle it up then, and then bring it up, and that way. Yeah, I mean, some people I know will sip it, and some people I know majority will cook with it. So it's gonna be one of them, you know, once you buy it for me as extract, what you do with it afterwards is all upon you. I have no control over it. So it is what it is. Now, yesterday I did pick, was it yesterday? 2 days ago, I picked a few heads off my elderberry plant, and I had them sitting in a little bowl in the house, and I finally picked them off today. I almost have a quart of frozen elderberries just off my plant alone. Excuse me. And there's a few heads on there. The stems are starting to show color, but the berries are still kind of green a little bit, so I might get lucky and be picking elderberries up until November, maybe. Fingers crossed. Depending on the weather and how bad it does and everything else. But yeah, I mean, and then a lot of the berries that I did pick from it, say some of the ones that are kind of dried or they're still green, whatever, I just left on the stems, and I took them over there and I've thrown some in this cluster right here of tall weeds and grass, and if they pop up next year and little sproutlings and grow into elderberries, great, so be it. And then my plant over here that you can't see, a lot of them I've taken the stem pieces that has the dried up ones or the green ones or some of the little black ones, or well, not really black, kind of reddish black, and I just threw the big old clusters over there in the middle amongst them. And I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did anyway, because I figured if they grow next year, if they finally go in the ground and they do their magic and they come up as little shoots, then I'll have a huge bush, which probably will be a downfall for me. But I did it anyway, and because I know eventually, sometime between now and before winter really kicks in, I'm gonna probably buy another shootling from this one guy down south, and I'm gonna plant another one a few feet, and this is gonna be at least 8 feet apart, and I'm gonna put another one right there behind it or beside it, one of the two, or maybe in front of it. No, I'll do it behind it. There's enough sunlight there away from element, and put another one there, put some wire around it, and of course it won't do anything massive. The one I have planted, well, let's see, I planted last fall, and yeah, so I mean, within a year's time of having it, you know, I'm already picking elderberries off of it, so I can't go wrong with that one. Now, the plant itself isn't really big and bushy. It's real tall and has some leaves on it. Some deer came in the other day and decided to prune around the outside of it, so they ate off a lot of the low-lying area of it. But it's alright. A lot of the goodies are still up top, but they can't get to it. So I got a big old thing of concrete wire wrapped around it, and it's braced up and staked in. So I mean, the deer can climb on it a little bit, but they're not getting too far up it. But yeah, I mean, this has been my day. Now here shortly in a little bit, I got some stuff gathered up in the house. I'm gonna take it down to a friend of mine, which is like 5 minutes, if that. If you're walking on foot, maybe 10 minutes. So let's just say 3 minutes down the road in a vehicle. Their neighbors really want a lot of my hot stuff, so I made a big old jar of brine, and I got some powder. I'm gonna take them to them. Well, chili powder residue. I'm gonna take a bag of it, and a big old thing of kind of like hot sauce, and plus I'm going there, and they have it in a yard sale, so I ain't gonna buy anything. I just figure I'll go in there. Because I went down the other night and shot the shit with them for a while, and figure I'll go back again and just kind of, be a social butterfly like I am on here. I'm gonna say this is at least every bit of 15-minute video, easy, maybe even a 20. But I guess I'm gonna call it, and y'all have a great day. What's left of Tuesday, and yeah, I'll if everything down here goes according to plan, after all the Pepto I've been drinking. I've already drank almost a whole bottle of Pepto, and I'm talking like a big bottle of Pepto. And it hasn't bothered me. I got that queasy, nauseated feeling still, but I haven't hit the bathroom yet, at least in a couple hours. So I'm feeling pretty confident. So, but if everything goes to plan tomorrow morning, I'm gonna have a tripod. I'm gonna have the camera. And we'll be in the woods, me and Junior and whoever's gonna watch it, and we're gonna go around and, like I said, tag some trees, mark some trees, and see about digging some bloodroot. Now, I am gonna go to the area we pick mushrooms, but that's gonna be later on. Where I'm gonna go to first is the backside of the area, of the main area, and once Montez watches the video, he'll know exactly where we're at, to the T, to the pinpoint, everything, because me and him's been there once or twice, and he absolutely enjoys it out there. And the reason I'm gonna go to the backside first is because I'm gonna see if the pawpaws are still on the tree. Now, if the pawpaws are still on the tree, I'm coming home with some pawpaws, because yeah, there's a few people that's never had them before, and they really want to try them. So, and I'm gonna go get them just because I can, because I haven't had a good pawpaw in over a year, and so yeah. But y'all have a great day, and I'll catch y'all again soon. And keep your nose dry, your powder clean, and do not name it after me. Have a good day.